Estoy aquí. Good. Get me tootsies off. Since sorting out your messages. Good. I just give it 1 more minute of just being live and floating around on here, so it'll be 12:05. Coolio. Got Georgie. Okay. Sobre dos. Just two. Three. Is it the 3 are? No. Okay. Let's get ready to rumble. So standing nice neutral stance, feet hip distance apart. Stand nice and tall, core engaged. Breathe. So fill those ribs in through your nose and out through your mouth. Those that have just done HIIT, bring those heart rates back down. So. Breathe in. Breathe out. Perfect. Let's look to the left. To the center, look to your right. Center. Drop your head gently to keep your traps down. Look up. Head back. Back to neutral. Good, good. And draw that further over, not 2 cities. Perfect. Have your hands to the side. Just going to stretch down the side. Start loosening up our back, our spine. Back to center. And change sides. Back up to center one more time. Stretch down the leg. And up. Last time this side. Perfect. Keeping our legs in this neutral stance, hip distance apart, have our arms out to the side. Nice deep breath in, rotate, breathe out. Breathe into center. Breathe out, rotate. Breathe into center. Breathe out, rotate. Into center. Last time, breathe out, rotate. Breathe into center. Perfect. So a nice deep breath in. So all the way in, lift those arms up, push yourself, make yourself nice and tall, up to tiptoes if you wish. Breathe out, arms down. Good job. One more time, let's look to the left. Center, to the right. Center down, center and up. Just roll our shoulders, get those shoulder blades working, feel them moving against your rib cage. 5 back, 5 forward. There you go. Let's do our back articulation. So we're going to tuck our chin, curl ourselves down, bone by bone. So feel each part of your spine unlocking as we go down to the floor. Loosen out those shoulders and arms. And let's curl ourselves back up nice and steady. Stand tall. Perfect. Let's get ourselves down to the floor. Try to get my head on and up. Okay. So the guys that are on know what we're looking for. They're a nice neutral stance. So feet at hip distance apart, flat on the floor, knees are bent. Working up to our pelvis, it's neutral, so there's a slight arch in our back. It's not a forced arch, which is when our pelvis is sitting neutrally between the two, so our hips, hip bones and ribs should be level. Getting up to our neck, we have a nice neutral chin, so our airway is open. Then we place our hands to the side of the floor. I'm going to just sit and breathe and apply gentle pressure to both our hands and our feet. So nice and neutral, breathe in, applying pressure through the soles of your feet and the palms of your hands. Just feel it in contact with the floor. Flatten out our shoulder blades, so let's lift our arms up to the ceiling. Our palms are facing each other and are directly above our shoulders, or just a little bit wider. We're going to go for 5 raises, so lift those shoulder blades up off the floor and drop them back down. So 5 of those, all the way up and drop. So feel how your shoulder blades flatten out on the floor. I've got 2 more. Perfect. Staying in this position here, feeling how the top of your shoulder blades are in contact with the floor. Then we raise our arms up over our heads. So our thumbs touch the floor and then raise them back up. Really focus on keeping those shoulder blades, the top part of your shoulder blades pinned against the floor. Our core is engaged. We still have our neutral pelvis, so there's a gentle arch in our back. So let's go one more, reach up. Drop those shoulder blades, you can feel them in contact with the floor, keeping that core tight now. Let's do 4 more. Reach overs, under control, touch the floor, and come back. Really focus on your shoulder blades. If that means you have a slight flexion on your elbow, absolutely perfect. Just thinking how flat we can make those shoulder blades feel on the floor. Hands over. Make sure they're flat, core is engaged. I've got 1 more. Perfect. Lower your hands back down to the ground. I'm going to prepare for our 100s. So again, you have our 3 feet position, so feet flat as they are now, up into your tabletop position, whether up at 90, out at 90, toes at 90, or your active Pilates legs outstretched. Going for a 100. The important thing is to keep that core engaged, look down at your navel, try and draw it in, you see it's sort of trying to stick out, reset, to make sure that pelvis is tilted, draw in at the middle part, the muscles in between your hip bones, and keep them tight. Let's get ready for our 100. So nice deep breath in, belly button to spine, imprint that back into the mat. Tuck your chin, peel yourself up, and let's go for our 100 taps. Remember looking down at your navel, keeping it nice and tight. We don't want it sticking up, sticking out. Shortening those abs. I'm on 40. Draw it in. First to go, how are you doing, guys? Looking down at my navel, making sure it's drawn in. 3, 2, 1. So you'll rest a while whilst you finish your 100s. When you are done, return your feet to the floor if they were up, hands to the side, neutral pelvis, neutral chin, breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. Funneling your breath as you breathe out, bringing those ribs in nice and tight. Imagine you've got a corset on, pulling the ribs in. So we're going to do our leg slides next, taking our leg out and drawing him back in. So nice deep breath in, bend up into the spine, tilt that pelvis so your lower back is pinned into the mat. Core briefly tight. You can have your fingers over your hip bones to feel the core activation, that's great. And nice and steady, holding your breath, holding your core, extend one leg, draw him back in. But any time you feel your core drop out, stop and reset. Give that pelvis nicely tilted so the core is tight. Draw those muscles in. Think about your funneling of your ribs. We're going to do 4 pairs. One's done. Nice and take the leg out, draw him back in. Nice and steady. Keep the core tight, back pinned. 2 pairs to go. Reset at any time. Make sure your back is pinned into the mat, your core is tight. Then look down for me to at your navel or hook over your fingers over your hip bones. And as soon as you feel that core try and disengage, draw them back in. This is my last one. And back to neutral. Feet hip distance apart, neutral pelvis, little arch, neutral chin, hands to the floor. We're going to go straight to our side leg stretch series. So onto one side. Fully stretch out nice and straight first of all. So you can feel how it is to have your hips stacked and your shoulders stacked. So like active legs. And then bring them slightly further forward so you feel slightly more balanced. The important thing is to keep those hips balanced and not let them fall forward or open out to the back. It is easy to fall backwards into that gap in the pelvis, but at the moment we don't want that. So we're going to go for 5 full kicks. So your top hand to your supporting hand can be in front if you need stability. So a nice deep breath in, lift that top leg, and so these in line with your hips. Both legs are active, so even my bottom leg is active, it's not trying to lie down, it is also working. So keeping them both active, bring your top leg forward, nice and controlled, bring them back to your centre line, squeeze the glutes and extend back. We're going to have 5 of these, that's number 1. So beautifully controlled, strong active legs. Don't let them just get all weak and just sit there. Squeeze. Good. 3 to go. 2 more. Really keep those glutes nice and tight. Feel the stretch coming through on your ab muscles and then into your hip bone. Number 5. Nice and controlled. Really focus on the level of that leg as well. We don't want them kicking up and coming out. Squeeze. Back to centre. Bend that top leg now and resting over the top. Give them a little rest. All good? So staying on this top side, back to where we were, so up, nice and active, so we have our active waist underneath, core is tight, legs are active. We're going to go for our side leg lift. So our bottom leg is slightly further forward for balance, so this top leg is going to be either in line with you, the rest of your body, or a little bit further forward, depends on how you can feel the stretch. And make sure that leg is active, again, it's not just lifting, core is really tight, and lift up to the side. By having that leg active, you really have to use your leg muscles to do that lift. So 10 gentle lifts. Feel those glute muscles working, strong legs, really point those toes, work the quads. There's loads of muscles that need to be involved. Let's use them all. 4 more. Keep everything tight, core tight, active waist. 2, 1. Perfect. Then that top leg, bring them over the top, give them a little rest. Perfect. So while we're here, we'll do our lower leg lifts on our bottom leg. So keeping that top leg nice and bent, fully on the floor. Core is tight. Roll back a little on your hips if you've come too far forward. Okay, so core living tight, activate that bottom leg. Put that rotation into the femur. If it's too far round, it might be uncomfortable on your hip bone, so just rotate that femur so the angle of the pelvis and thigh is much more comfortable. And 10 lifts. Keep that core tight. You should also feel it working in your top oblique. 3, 4, strong legs. 5, 6. Focus on lifting with the inner thigh. 7, 8, 10. Perfect. Okay, let's swing that to the other side. Or you can roll over, depending on how your setup is at home. We have the same 3 exercises. So start off in a beautiful straight line, activate everything. So our hips are stacked, shoulders are stacked, we have an active waist. Bring the legs slightly forward for more balance. Your top hand here is for stability. We've got our 5 kicks. So top leg active, last bottom is also active. Bring forward that top leg, nice and controlled. Bring him back in line with your body. Everything stacked and pulling behind. So squeeze those glutes. Or tight. You really feel it pulling all the way from the spine through on your psoas. We've got 4 more. Nice and controlled. Bring him up. And neutral and squeeze behind. Really think of all the muscles. So keep that bum tight. Strong active legs. Got your quads working. Big stretch. Feel it in your hamstrings. Start squeezing your bum again now as you draw your leg back. Squeeze even more as you pull back. Good, good. We've got 2 more to make our 5. And keep them in line with the body, nothing's going up just yet. And back, core tight, squeeze. Number 5. Forward. So even my bottom leg is still active. Neutral. Back and squeeze. Perfect. Then that top knee. Rest them over the top. Give them a little rest. Super duper. And about 20 seconds. And we're going to go to our side leg lift. Okay, right, back to position. So nice and active, core tight, active waist underneath. Don't let it drop. Bring up that top leg so it's in line with your body. And let's lift, so squeeze. So you have an active leg, that little rotation of the femur. Really squeeze the bum. You need to make it difficult. 4, we've got 10 of these. 5, control the lift and the lower. 6, 7, keep it all tight. Don't just lift it. 9, 10. Perfect. Bring that top leg over, bend him, rest him on the floor. And we're going to go for our lower leg lifts. So get everything lovely and tight. Activate that bottom leg, so the slight rotation should make the hip more comfortable. And lift the turn. Get everything lovely and strong. Think about the inner thigh, squeeze him up. 3, 4. Really long legs. 5, 6, 7, 3 to go. Perfect. Let's round to our tummies. Put our hands into a triangle. Rest our head on our hands. I'm just going to breathe. So think about your breathing here. You're trying to fill your ribs, not your tummy, with your air. So you're sort of breathing out to the sides more than breathing and pushing yourself up with your full tummy breath. Okay, so let's breathe 3 or 4, nice and steady. We'll do our cat and cow stretch. We bring our hands around to the side, push ourselves up onto our hands and knees. Cores nice and tight. Our hands are directly under our shoulders and our knees are under our hips. The doesn't really help. So, nice deep breath in. We're going to drop our head and drop our hips and arch our back like a cat. Make sure we push our heels of our palms into the ground. Okay, so nice deep breath in. Then we're going to spine, so suck everything up into that diaphragm. Arch up. You're going to have your head through. Really push to the ground. 4, 3, 2, 1. Perfect. Back to neutral. Now make sure you engage your glutes, squeeze them together. I'm going to go the other direction, so you're going to lift your hips and lift your head. You're trying to make your body as long as possible. But try not to sit back, so it makes it shorter, so make sure you stay in your position, lift your head, lift your bum, and make the difference between here as long as possible. Core tight. Good, good. Back to neutral. Go here one more time. So let's go for our cat stretch. Nice deep breath in. Belly button to spine. Draw everything up and into your diaphragm. Really arch that back. Squeeze everything. Push through the heels of your palms. Keeping that core tight, let's transition. Squeeze the glutes, core nice and tight. Lift your head, lift your hips. Keep that belly button drawn in. 3, 2, 1. Perfect. Back to neutral. Let's go down to our forearms, down to our haunches, extend our arms out, rest our heads on the floor, and rest. Super. Back into our forearms, up to our hands. Let's get onto our bottoms. So, we're going to do our roll downs. So those of you who are working on your strength, starting in this position here, like take your nice deep breath in. So you bring everything up and in, so that helps with the rounding of your back. Elbows are high, the hands to the side of your legs. Lower yourself down as far as you can and go down to the floor. Start pulling yourself up. You get as far as you can and then grab hold of your thighs and use them to help you get back up. So you are using sort of the grips of your fingers to get back up, but take the momentum out. So I don't want you to be sort of yanking yourself up, but we know that you can get down quite far when you're holding onto your own legs. Just control that last little bit down, and then as soon as you can, get yourself back up. As soon as you can make contact with your legs for a bit of traction, use them to sort of walk yourself back up so you get used to the full range of motion. Those who are happy with the full roll down, we'll go for 6. Okay? You now have your legs bent or your legs straight. Loving controls, rolling down and rolling up. So think about your spine being like a pizza slice, rolling its way down. So we're going to go for 6. Let's go. A nice deep breath in, core nice and tight. Draw it up and in. So it helps lift the ribs and get that nice C curve. Turn yourselves down to the ground. Keep that core tight, even as you go in here. And back in. So arms up, tuck your chin, come up, bone by bone. Okay, so you either have your knees bent, or your knees, legs out straight. Choice is yours, but keep that tension. Even your core here, we're leaning back, don't disengage. Nice and controlled. Roll your back, get that C curve, bone by bone, down to the ground. Very good. So as you're coming up, again, really again, think about drawing in those abs. Important. 2 more. Just up and in, up into those rib cage. Work that diaphragm, help those rib muscles. Always intercostals. And back up. Good job. So we're going to finish off in our sitting seated position and do our roll like a ball. So those who are working on their core strength still, you would have your towel, your cushion behind you. So when you roll back, you have something just catching you, getting used to activating that part of your core. The stronger you get, the further away you can take that support beam until you're able to do movement on your own. So we're going to do 6 roll like balls. One of the important things is not to go up to your neck. So what I don't want to see is that. No head contact. Going to the shoulder blades, it looks lovely and tight, tucking our chin, lifting our shoulders, under control, back and back up. And we're using our powerhouse together. We're using our core, not pulling on our arms, we're using our legs. Only for 6. So nice deep breath in, tuck your chin, so don't be too tight in your ball. So have sort of a, so you can feel the core and this is working. If you're too tight, it makes it much more difficult. So 5. That's good, nice and controlled. Fell down. It's important to start off slowly. Don't go down too early, too soon. Perfect. Let's work on our open leg rocker. So I'll face forward. So this is when we come off our sit bones, our feet off the floor. We do alternate legs, then the two, out, in, out. We'll talk through it. If your hamstrings are still tight, remember to keep those legs bent. So you're in, but you don't necessarily have to extend to full extension. You can keep those knees nice and soft. Okay, so are we ready? So nice little stretch out first. Let's take a nice deep breath in. Hands are on our shins. Tuck your chin so you roll back onto your sit bones. Keep that core tight, up and in with all those abs and organs and intestines. All nice and good. Let's extend our left. And holding 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Perfect. Back to centre. And we're still off the floor. We haven't made contact. All right, for our right leg, so make sure that core's lovely and tight. Reset your breath if you need to. Let's extend our right. Holding for 5, 4, keep the core in, up and in, 3, 2, 1, perfect. Still having a little float, not back down to the ground. We're going to go for both legs. So nice deep breath in, belly button is fine, draw it all up and into those ribs and then extend those legs. Make yourself nice and soft. Holding for 5, 4, 3, draw it in, 2, 1, perfect. Legs down, and let's have a little rest down. Good. If you're improving on those. So now I'm going to go for the single, double. Then once we're out, we're going to go out, in, out, and then down. Okay? So back into position, feet on the floor. Nice deep breath in, core engaged, slide off onto your sit bones. Let's go for our left leg for 5, 5, 4, nice and tight, 3, 2, 1, perfect, lower. Change to our right, 5, 4, keep it all nice up and in, 3, 2, 1. Perfect. Down to center, both legs please. Make yourself solid. Draw it all in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring them in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And finally out again. 5, 5, 4. Keep it tight. 3, 2, 1. Perfect. Lower your legs, lower your feet. Super. Little rest. Hope that went well. Derek may be swearing at me, but hope it's getting better. Right, so we're going to go now straight into the double leg. So not left and right, straight up to the double. I'm going to go in and out twice. Each of them is going to be for a count of 5. So it's going to be both up for 5, in for 5, out for 5, in for 5, out for 5, down. Okay, remember, think about your sit bones, draw everything up and in. It really is important to think about getting the stomach vacuum when you get everything up and in. It's going to really help draw that navel in and use the right muscles. Okay, so let's give this a go. So anytime you need to stop or not go as far or go down to single legs, absolutely fine. Okay, so nice deep breath in. Belly button into your spine, everything up and in, tip off our sit bones. Both legs together, count to 5, let's go. 5. Core are tight. 4. Draw them in. Really think hard. 2, 1. Bring them together. 5. Strong active legs in the middle. 3, 2, 1. And out. Still keep Pilates legs. The stronger you are, the easier it makes it, honestly. Trust me, I'm a doctor. 2, 1. Draw them in. 5. Keep your tummies in. 4. Strong legs. 3, 2, 1. Last time out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Perfect. Lower your legs, feet back to the floor, legs however you fancy, and just rest. Grab some water. Not too much. If the stronger you're feeling that position, you can start doing the actual open leg rocker. It's like you roll like a ball, but our legs are in that open rocker position. Okay. All good? Perfect. Right, to the floor. Roll down nice and controlled into our neutral positions. So feet hip distance apart, knees are bent, you're going into your trousers. Okay, so we're going to go for our single leg stretch series next. So bring both our knees into our chest. We use a little roll of those legs to help get that lower back pinned and flat into the mat. So we're going to be doing our pushing out with our stretch. So as we push out, think strong Pilates legs. So we have a slight rotation, so we're not going straight down. It's almost like you're doing it diagonally. So we want to make sure we activate those quads and those calves. Okay, so we're going to go for 5 pairs. You can do it with just your cushion behind your head, but still activate your core. Don't just have your head lifted and not work that core. Looking down at your navel, making sure it's all sucked in and working. So 5 pairs. Are you ready? Nice deep breath in. Belly button to spine. Make sure everything's all tucked into the floor. Chin is up, the airway is open. Let's go for our 5 pairs in our own time. 5. Push. Really feel the legs work. 4. Push out as long as possible. 3. 2. 1. Both legs in. Lower your head back down to the floor. Feet down. Rest. Good job. Scissors next. So this is the one we're going to be going straight legs up and down. If you find that it's quite painful on your quads, you can have a slightly more bent leg, so your hamstrings or your quads, to be honest. You just lower the little toe tap that way, so your knees stay flexed. Okay, or you can just shorten the range of motion. So if it's more quad, you can shorten the range of motion. Don't go as far. Flex the knees more your hamstrings, so that they do toe tap and back up. So you don't have to have fully locked out active Pilates legs if you're working on our flexibility. So 5 pairs of these, okay? So nice deep breath in, belly button to spine, imprint that back, tuck your chin and peel your shoulder blades off, extend both legs, activate them, Let's go for 5 pairs. So keep that lower back pin. As you're lowering that leg, they're straight, push them away as long as possible. If you're keeping your legs bent, think of that nice controlled toe tap. But keep everything tight, strong legs, even if they're bent. 3, 4, and my 5th pair. Pulls are tight, look at that navel, draw him in. Perfect. Bend both knees, back in, feet to the floor, and rest. Two-legged stretch next. So we start off with both our knees into our chest, pinning our chin up and our shoulder blades up. Then from the tabletop position, we fully extend out and come back in. So what I'd like to do in your scaling motions is if you're not have your hands overhead. So you're up, core is activated, shoulder blades are off. Just push your legs out and bring them back in. Don't worry about your arms. The next phase is to go from here to bring your arms slightly further away. Then the full one is the fully extended arms. So whichever one you're going to be doing, we're going to do 5. So nice deep breath in, belly button to spine, imprint your back, chin in, shoulders up. Let's go for our 5. So when we're extending again, we have our lovely Pilates legs, loving strong, making them as long as possible. 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. Lower down, neutral stance and rest. Okay, so let's go to our sides. If you do have a Pilates ring at home, grab it. If you haven't, we're going to do, I'll do it without, but if you do have one, please use it. So, I'm going to be in our side positions. You can have your head on your hand if you wish, or be fully extended. The choice is yours. So, what we're going to do are the exercises that we would have done with our ring. So, we're going to activate both our legs. So, our hips are stacked, our shoulders are stacked, we have our nice active waist. Bring your top leg up as if it was on top of the ring and squeeze down for 10 as if it's there. So create that tension. 10 of these. Squeeze 4. Keep that bubble of being tight. Imagine it's there. Create the tension. 4 to go. 4. 3. Pause a little bit tight. Lift that waist. 2. 1. Lovely. Little rest. Okay, so this next one's going to be fun. I would suggest having your top hand over as support. You have your head on my hand again if you find it easier. Activate both legs. So my hip and upper thigh on the floor for my bottom leg, but my mid-thigh to the end of my leg is not on the floor. Lift your top legs. If you imagine you're on the ring, stabilizing hand. Bring up that bottom leg. 10 of those. Good, good. 3, nice and controlled. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Keep that core tight. 9, 10. Perfect. Little rest from that top leg over. Brilliant stuff. So hopefully you're feeling in your top obliques. You've got that slight scrunch going on, and the stabilizes by keeping our active waist. Good job. Okay, so now we're going to go for the two-legged side raise. Again, it is easier with the disc because you have something to push against. We're going to have to work our cores. So again, supporting hand on top if you wish. Your arm fully out and your head there, or up. It is better to be this way because you can keep that waist more active. Activate those legs for me, and let's go for 5 side lifts. But try and keep the distance between those legs the same. 3, squeeze, 4, keep those legs active, 5. Good. All okay? Number 5? Go on then. So lock and loads, activate both those legs. We've got the rotation of the femur, strong legs, pointing toes, heels together, slight gap in between, and 5 lifts to the side. 4, 3, 2, 1. Brilliant stuff. Top leg over. Give yourself a little rub. Hope that was okay. Just make sure you think more about the movement, not having the disc there. When we all get back together again, we'll be absolute whizzes. Perfect. Let's change sides. So into position, lovely and straight. Everything nice and active. So think about the nice active waist, core is engaged, hips are stacked, shoulders are stacked. Okay, so activate both legs. So again, up to mid thighs touching the floor on your bottom leg, on your top leg, lifting up as if you was on top of the disc, and let's do 10 squeezes. So again, visualize the disc and squeeze it down as if it was there. 3, 4, 5, 6. Good. Okay, keep it strong, strong and long. 7, 8, 9, 10. Perfect. Little rest. Pop them over the top. Okay, now we have the fun one, the lower leg lift. So into position, core's lovely and tight, active waist, everything is nice and stacked. Activate both legs, have your top leg as if it was on the ring, on the disc, and let's bring up our bottom leg for 10. 2, 3, 4, keep that top leg static. 5, you can't come to the rescue. 6, 7, 8, everything nice and tight. 9, 10, perfect. Little rest. So next we have either 2 sets of 5 or 1 full set of 10 of the double leg side lifts. Okay? Okay, so back into position. Core's nice and tight, shoulders stacked, active waist, shoulders, hips. Activate those legs, create the short gaps. Imagine that you are pushing against that ring so that distance stays the same. And let's go for our side lifts. 2, 3, 4, 5. You're doing 2 sets of 5, having a little rest. If you're not, you're probably not, you're a bunch of psychos. Full 10, we've got 3 more. 3, keep the legs active. 2, 1. Perfect. Top leg over. Give them a little rest. Good job. Let's go on to our tummies. Hands back into a triangle. Onto the floor, rest your head on the floor and just breathe. Okay, so we're going to just practice our push-up. It's called a push-up, but it's not a true push-up, it's in press-ups. We have our hands to the side, and we roll our shoulders back, get everything nice and pinned, and tuck our toes under, and push ourselves up and in. So what we're going to do is work on one's progression for that. So, if you start off up in a hand plank for me, then lower your knee so your body stays in exactly the same position. So your back core is tight, feet are flat. Your elbows nice and close to your body and lower yourself down. So if you haven't quite got the strength or the technique yet to get the toes under one, absolutely problem at all, you're going to go for 5 this way. So that position we just had, core nice and tight, Still get your shoulder blades active and your elbows inside your body. Push your heels away and just come up to knee height. I don't want that. You need to be nice and strong and act as if you were in your crescent position. So your body was there so you have straighter legs. Yeah, so none of that. Core active, back active. Okay, so you have a choice. I'd like us to do 5. Either you're going to do the knee version, or to the toe version, or a mix of the two if you get tired. Okay, so plant those toes, or those knees, depending on your form. Hands under, nice deep breath in. Knock your shoulder blades down. Push yourself up to your plank and hold for 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down, exactly the same format. Back to the floor. Reset our breath. Let's go again. Everything locked in. Push the heels of your palms. Bring yourselves up for 4, 3, 2, 1. Perfect. You've got to keep your arms lovely close to your body as you come down, not flaring that elbows out. You've got 2 more. So nice deep breath in. Plant those shoulders. Roll them back. Sit that back nice and tight. Push away with the heels of your palms and into your toes. Bring yourself up for 4, 3, 2, 1. Perfect. Lower yourself down with the same control. And last one. Okay, so nice deep breath in. Sit the shoulders. Heels of the palms into the floor, toes are down. Push yourself up and away. Hold in for 4, 3, 2, 1. Perfect. Last lower to the ground. Hands out, back into your triangle, on the floor, and rest. Perfect. Okay, let's bring our hands back onto the side, push ourselves back up, onto our hands and knees, and onto our bottoms. Good job. All feeling okay? So let's go for our seated saw. So have our legs out in the front. Keep it wider than shoulder distance. Active feet, so toes up, heels down. Really sort of push the heels away into your back wall if you have one. I imagine you do some work if you're training outside. There will be a wall. Come back a bit and see my feet. Okay, so standing nice and tall. Again, if your hamstrings are a bit tight, be on the cushion, be on the block, be slightly higher, or have the feet slightly bent. The knees slightly bent, sorry, but do still try and have those active feet at the bottom of the movement. So we're going to go for 2 on the side. So arms up to the side, nice deep breath in. As you rotate, you breathe out, and the back of one hand goes to the opposite side. So keep those feet nice and active, strong rotation. Scoot round to the centre, breathing in, and we change direction. So keep your back nice and set and tight. Breathe out and rotate. So push against that foot and help you increase the stretch going through your back. Good. Scoot down, breathe in. Last pair, breathe out, rotate. Push against that foot, keep them active. Scoot, breathe in. Last time, breathe out, rotate. Good. Scoot, breathe in. Perfect. Have your legs however is comfortable. So if you're on your block still, that's absolutely fine. Plant your right hand, extend your left arm up, stretch over. Perfect, back to centre. Plant your left, extend your right. Perfect, back to neutral. Let's repeat that. Left arm up, take them over. Back to centre, plant your left, extend your right and over. Good job. Roll those shoulders. And loosening up the fascias into the shoulder blades. Up to release more tension. Good job. Rest your hands on your legs. Close your eyes, sitting nice and tall. Think about your spine position. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. And as we do, think about again the funneling of those ribs. Breathe in. Breathe out through your mouth, funnel those ribs. Squeeze. Last time, in through your nose, pull the ribs up. Not the bellies, ribs. And breathe out. Let's look to our left. And centre, to the right. Centre, lower your chin, don't raise your traps. Centre, look up slowly. Back to centre, or shrugs, being tension. Perfect. Let's bring ourselves up to standing nice and steady. So again, swing yourself around, get yourself onto your hands and knees, and peel yourself up off the floor. Once we're all up, get the blood in the right place. Perfect. Let's have a nice deep breath in. So arms crossed. Reach up as far as we can up to our tippies, nice and balanced. Keep holding your breath for a moment. And let's breathe out and drop the arms and come down. Real shake. Back to normal. Let's go again. Nice deep breath in all the way up. Oops, got some shoes. Tippies. Breathe out, arms down. Little shake. Let's do our back stretch. So we're going to do one with our soft knees and one with a straighter, and see how far, if we can get anything on that walk out. So soft knees, first of all, core tight, drop your chin, bone by bone, think of a pizza slice, articulating all the way down to the ground. And curl up. Nice and steady. We try for the walk out. I do 2 walkouts, so those who are still working on the flexibility and can't quite get as far as you can, keep your straight leg until you get so far, and soften the legs as much as you need to get your hands on the floor. And go onto your tiptoes and just work on that walkout to get feeling the hands working. I'll go for 2 of those. So the full walkout is the straight legs down with the press and back up. So we'll do 2 of those, or the tailored down versions. So nice deep breath in, breathe out as we curl ourselves down. So everything bone by bone by bone. Keep the legs quite straight at this point so we get the hamstring flex. And then we're going to walk ourselves out. Up onto our tippies. Down and back up. As soon as you can, get those heels back on the floor. Stretching out those hamstrings. And curl up. Perfect. Stand tall. And one more time. Curl yourself down. Bone by bone by bone. Nice hamstring stretch. Hands out to the floor. Walk yourself out. Nice and controlled. Press. And back. Curl yourself up. Nice and steady. Stand tall. Last little roll of the shoulders. Hopefully you feel a couple of inches taller. Change direction. Waves, wings. One final deep breath in, all the way up to our tippies. Really stretch them up. Breathe out, arms down. Give yourself a shake and a clap. Good, good, good. Nicely done. So, as we were saying earlier in the HIIT class, we're going to go for, from Friday, we'll do HIIT at 10, Pilates at 11. So those that are doing the over 50s and Pilates only, they'll be at 11 o'clock like they'll be in the gym. So nicely done. Any questions, fling them over. Any variations that you'd like, let me know. Ciao for now. Have a good day.